Bruh, I couldn't even get a promise ring after 2 years with a partner before. And in 2 months, you think someone can decide if they want to give you a ring?
Yes.
Let's talk about trial marriages.
Trial marriages. Whose trial marriages do you want to go like by couple or just in general? What do you think?
Yeah, we can go by couple. I just have notes on like what I felt. Like I have it in chronological order of whatever
You're
they
smart.
aired it as, but right away I didn't like, Vanessa and Ray's trial marriage and or Ozzy's and Mildred's.
Vanessa just once again was so pushing sex all the time.
Night one, when they go into the new place together, she's like, "Take me," and she's like pulling Ray onto the bed with her, or like pushing her on the bed.
The whole nipple piercing thing. She's like, "So you're gonna show me your nipples next?" Like,
it screamed "pick me" because she just like wouldn't stop talking, was like freaking out all the time, and I'm over here like, girl,
who decides when they're on a game show? This is game show, reality show. See, game
let
show.
me just pierce my
This
nips.
is the time to pierce my nipples. It's because she wanted Ray to see your nipples.
Yeah, because after she
Sipsel.
got on pierced, she's like, "Okay, let me just go flash people, and then maybe you can flash me yours."
Yep.
Got to explore. I anticipate that with relationships. If you haven't gotten to serious relationships, especially if you come out and to something you're not ever used to, you don't just jump into a 4-year relationship and then expect to be able to commit. You have to be somewhat prepped for that. And Vanessa was just like, I wasn't. I just started dating Xander and that's it. And I'm like, okay, well, do you want to admit that you just wanted to date other ways?
Yes.
I'd been with Xander for 4 years. I lost a spark. And as much as I loved her, like she was more my best friend, my roommate, versus like this thrilling relationship.
If your ex came up to you like right now and proposed to you, do you like have any idea what you'd do?
I would say no. I would not be comfortable marrying her right now. No, because I'm
Gotcha.
connecting with you and
It's weird.
with some other people, no big deal.
Is it my ex-girlfriend? I feel like I can see the devil in your face right now.
Well, ooh, I wrote a quote. Look at me quoting. When Vanessa and Ray, I think it was after the nipple piercing night, but they're like having coffee on the balcony or something.
Yes.
And Vanessa says, this feels like a slice of freedom after being in jail for a long time.
Yeah, that's not how you view a relationship with someone you want to get married to.
I hope you watched that, Xander, and you felt terrible you dated
She
this
said
bitch.
that you made her feel like she was in prison.
Yeah, I don't.
And you don't even hold her like that tight. You're not controlling Xander. Come on.
How would anyone want to be in a serious relationship with you? And if you're trying to have this new trial marriage, why are you telling your potential 21-day wife?
That you're finally free.
Because then they're going to think that they're the next one who's like
Gonna make them feel like they're
imprisoned.
imprisoned. Exactly. And when they meet the parents, it's very clear that Vanessa got traits from her father because her father openly admits it. He's like, I got into marriage fast. We've gotten divorced fast. I've done things for someone else because I was considering them and not me. I don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
A 7-year lease.
Yes.
At the end of the 7 years, you decide whether you want to renew it or not. If you don't, you both walk away. So,
And this is where I get my idea of marriage.
no,
Holy hell.
Can we talk about how Vanessa's dad had his together though? And I was like, who raised this? Because it wasn't you.
I know, right?
Because he's like, Vanessa,
He was like armchair therapist with her.
you're a person. I'm your dad and you are a person.
He was like, and you are me. So I'm shit.
Yeah.
But he was very accountable.
Yeah.
Versus Vanessa's accountability felt fake.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as Yoli said, performative.
Yes. 100%. 100%. But, I mean, we could go forever about Vanessa. Okay. Let's talk about, like, the more, like, the odd, like, what did you, like, Tiff and Sam? Because there was nothing, like, what did you think about?
I was so concerned about Tiff and Sam because Tiff made a lot of drama just around the dog, and I get it.
I said, I, too, would fight to make my dog be non-negotiable. That's what I wrote in my notes.
I was like, the only reason I understand a dog can be a non-negotiable. Don't get me wrong. I love dogs. I love my nephew because my sister has a dog.
Yeah.
But Tiff didn't give Sam a chance to even show that Sam was okay with the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam vocalized that. She was like, yeah, like, I've only been with you this long versus Mildred's been with you for this long.
Mm-hmm.
If you have this much of a priority over the dog, that's fine. But, like, I also have my boundaries and what I feel a dog should do. I think Sam didn't want the dog on the bed and Tiff did. And I'm like, that's normal. Like,
See, this is where it's hysterical. This is where it's fascinating because you're such Team Sam in this, and I was 100% Team Tiff. You sleep on the couch, my dog is sleeping on the bed. Goodbye.
Well, Sam was just like, I've been here for how many weeks, and this is the first meal Tiff made me, but every other day she's made the dog a meal. I was like, what? Like,
Yes.
she didn't make you a meal with it? Like, make a family dinner?
I wanted those sweet potato fries with that dog.
I saw that. I thought that was Sam's plate, and then I saw the dog go. I was like, oh, that's
Nope, it was
not
the dog's
for her.
plate. It was the dog's plate. Yeah, like, it's just like their argument seemed so, like, surface level and
It seems roommate.
petty. Yeah.
It's like roommate fight, not marriage fight.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't seem like that big of a deal to me.
Yeah.
I was worried about how, because Sam wanted to learn how to speak up for herself, which is not wrong. That's fine. I saw their issues with, like, communication with Ozzy, so I get it. But Tiff's version of speaking up comes off of the toxicity she feeds off from Mildred. So I was worried about how Sam was going to interpret it and take it, and that really showed when they switched back to original couples.
Which, speaking of Mildred and Ozzy.
I'm going to be watching my camera real hard to make sure we get all of this, because I was not okay with Mildred and Ozzy. In the beginning, it looked peaceful and it had hope. I had faith.
Oh my god, that is so cute. Let me see your plant.
It's a love plant because it's actually my best friend who gave it to me when my grandma passed away. So I didn't really have much support around me because I was living really far away from all my friends.
I'm gonna help you take care of it because it's gonna mean as much as it means to you to me.
And I mean, it was gonna die if I didn't bring it, so.
I'm gonna consider it just as much as you do. So just be aware of that. Come get in the
I don't
bed
think I
with
did.
me.
I did, but, like, I kept watching Mildred. I'm like, it feels very fake also. Like, it feels either she was putting on, like, a mask or, like, I don't know, is she a Gemini? Because I felt so two-faced to me. So, because you see how vicious she can be with Tiff, but then you see, like, how soft and nice she can be with, like, Yoli as a gal pal, and then with Ozzy as a trial marriage.
When we get to the reunion, I don't have words about that.
That's why I was just like, I don't know. But Ozzy is very avoided.
Yes.
We know that. I understand that. But I relate to Ozzy in the sense of being raised in an Asian household. So Ozzy is not confrontational. And when you just keep pushing confrontation onto someone who isn't confrontational, someone whose parents most likely yelled at them a lot in their childhood because they're controlling and they want you to be a certain way. Ozzy kept saying, like, I'm not good enough, I can't be this for you, like, I can't be perfect. That stems off of the parent mentality to Asian children, like, you need to be perfect.
Yeah.
So I saw that right away. I was like, Ozzy hasn't done much healing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could tell that it absolutely triggered her trauma. And it's funny because I even, like, wrote, as a therapist, in big letters, I wrote, Mildred is a gaslighter. And so, like, brief spoiler alert, in the reunion, when Ozzy has that moment where, like, she's like, when I heard the word gaslighting right now, like, this is really triggering what I went through as a kid.
Yes.
And you can 100% tell that throughout their trial marriage.
Yeah, because Mildred just kept saying things over and over, and Ozzy was somewhat communicative, which was really nice, because when I struggled with that before therapy, I couldn't even say things like, I can't talk to you right now when you're in this state. I couldn't say that. So the fact that Ozzy
She's
was saying
asking
it,
for space. She's setting a boundary.
I feel like the issue with Ozzy and Sam that caused Sam wanting to speak up was because Ozzy was putting too much space and not considering how much space Sam needed before it got concerning. So it just felt like the issue was just always being brushed under the rug, versus with Mildred, it was like, I'm confronting you right now. I just need like 2 minutes to breathe. Because when they started arguing after the contestants met up for dinner and Ozzy came back, Ozzy had just gone through the whole table argument with Lexi and Vanessa.
Yeah.
And Ozzy was just like, this is overwhelming. This is a lot. Like, why are we arguing? To come home to Mildred gaslighting her as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's too much at once. And Mildred didn't even consider that.
Conversation. I hope you know how much I care about you. Despite what has happened, like, I'm real, man. Like,
but what has happened? Because we haven't talked about it. I could tell you I care about you a lot too, but if you care about me, then we should have a conversation. I'm asking for you to like open up and communicate with me. And I think that
we are. And now we're all serious and talking about.
We don't have to be serious. That requires communication. That requires owning up to our responsibilities. We actually both signed up for this, so...
We did sign up for it. I'm not saying that I didn't. I'm just saying I'm surprised.
You're surprised? Okay, that's a good feeling to have. You're surprised.
I was just trying to stay on a high. Like, I just walked in this door.
But what makes you think that our conversation can be a high? Why do you think that our conversation is negative?
Your tone,
Is that how you associate confrontation?
your tone of voice.
My tone of voice can be so many different levels. I can have emotions.
You can.
Just because the
But
way
I
you
don't-
associate your life with being calm all the time and quiet, that doesn't mean that I am like that,
No,
Elsie.
that's
We're
fine.
different.
We're very different.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it's okay if I
And
raise
it's
my voice.
absolutely.
It doesn't mean I'm an angry woman. It just
And
means
it's
that I
also
want to be heard.
okay. It's also okay for me not to be ready to have this confrontation. Like, after I just came back from, like, a night out with my buds, like you say, and, like, now we're doing this, and I'm not ready to do this. I'm not ready to, like, I want to go back out, actually. Can I just go back out? Like,
I mean, I don't know if you're
want-
asking me or you're telling me, but I'm not in charge of you.
I know
so-
you're not. And I think...
I mean, you're just showing that you, like, run away from these, like...
Okay. If that's what you
just
call
run
it.
away from everything all the time.
Sure.
It's madness.
If that's what you want to believe, that's fine.
Okay. That's what you're actually actively doing right now. You're leaving.
Or ask like, how did the dinner go? What happened? How do you
Right.
feel? But she just started like jabbing her.
Yeah. I will say that was my first, because I'm still Team Mal all the way, but like that was my first red flag for Mal was that conversation of all of them at dinner. Because like when they're all like, well, because when they're like, oh, like what are like the things that you don't like in your partnership right now? And we see, and like when Xander was like nothing about Yoli, like, and Matt was like, are you sure? Are you sure? And I was
like,
like,
instigate.
yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
you are intentionally wanting these people to talk the people you apparently love that you came in with this ultimatum. If someone's shit talking my partner, I'm going to be like, bye.
Yeah.
But it was like these people were like intentionally trying to hear their other partners be shit talked, and I thought that was bizarre.
That could be an edit too, but it
True.
seems so close together that I can't even tell. But like Mal does get like that near the end when they become original couples again. To Xander, like, how do you love Yoli the way I love Yoli?
Right.
And so like I saw that again. I'm like, I can see how that can be a little bit of a red flag.
It was very bizarre.
But that's like the only red flag I see in Mal.
Yeah, no, I agree. that whole scene was
We
just
love
weird
Mal.
to me. We do love Mal. But I was like, why? I was like, none of you should be with your partners long term. Like, damn, because you're sitting here having this conversation where you're trying to get the person who's currently dating them to shit talk them.
Yes.
Stupid.
Lexi and Mal though, how do we feel about that?
I love them.
If
I don't want them
anyone's
to
gonna
get
come at
married, but I want them to be like they are now, like
Besties.
besties for life. I think that they were both too absorbed in their original partners to end up being what could be a proper
They
marriage.
were both so loyal, which is
Yes.
not bad.
Yes.
They're so loyal to the original partner, but they still agreed to do this part of the experiment
Mm-hmm.
because of it. So I like that. And they were so nice to each other too.
Yes. Yeah, I really loved them, and I loved that Mal gave Lexi the space to process with everything that was going on with Vanessa and Ray.
Yeah, because how the heck do you do that and then have your ex-partner call and be like, I had sex with someone else?
Like, it was an accident. I tripped and my fingers went.
Like, I just think of her as a friend. Well, I don't fuck my friend.
Right.
I was like, and then that's when I liked Tiff, because Tiff was like, I love you, Ozzy, but like, I wouldn't put my fingers.
Yes,
I
thank
was
you.
like, thank you, Tiff. Like, that was the one I was like, green flag, Tiff.
Yeah,
Finally.
that whole
Talking about marriage and what that means to
us, and if we want that, I would say she's my literal best friend right now, and she's beautiful. Duh. We're really getting along, and we're trying to keep things, which is like not what happened. Seems like, is there a reason why you fucked Ray? Oh, I'm sorry. Ray fucked you. No. And there was penetration. But it's not the funny part. It's not funny at all. I recognize that you don't like me and you're trying to find every way not to like me. And I'm trying to be very... That's not it at all. Okay, please, can we try to see how we can overcome it? Like, all we have is now, guys. I know. Yeah. Most of you. I'm really surprised she told you. Then maybe your frustration is that Ray told you. I knew coming into this that Ray was going to trust the people around her. We had a date that I think was very clarifying. You went into a situation with Ray. You made it very clear to me on all of our dates that like she was your safe option. You're taking a person who is genuinely has the purest of hearts, who you had sex with. She's beautiful. Like no, that's not what I'm asking. Are you sexually attracted to Ray? Are you romantically attracted to Ray? No. Okay, so then this is not about Ray. You're not into her. Wait, Lexi. You've said I'm not attracted to Ray romantically. I don't want to be sexually attracted to her. Like being inside of the person I came here with and that I love. You have zero feelings for them, zero care about them. That's not true. You just said you have no romantic, no sexual, no physical feelings for this person. But you don't fuck friends. You don't fuck friends like that. Falling into.
Leslie, I'm sorry, I love you, but I wouldn't fuck you.
I love you all. I'm not falling to y'all's vagina.
I respect that.
Probably don't like us, but I don't remember who kissed who. Convenient. It's not convenient. It's just true. We got intentional and it started being coincidental. It wasn't coincidental.
Was that an accident that happened? Like, it was literally an accident?
Your first accident when we had your fingers inside of somebody else? It was not an accident. It wasn't an accident, no. All I'm trying to say here, Vanessa, is that you ended up with your fingers inside of the person I came here with. Okay, this makes you sound really bad, Lexi. Did she penetrate you? Led my hand to her vagina. And I do not want to say, I never wanted to fucking say, but that is what happened. And you were like, all right, yes, and I go. And I said, all right. And I said, all right. But Lexi, like, I think you need to have a... Genuinely, I don't care. You could have been inside her 6 nights a week. At the end of the day, like, whether I walk out of here single with Ray or with Mal, my problem is with the person Ray let inside of her. Yeah, I have to understand why she trusted you enough to let you fuck her.
Like, she brought her hand to my vagina.
Yeah, see? And then Lexi's like, I don't need to hear that.
And I just feel like that's complete bullshit.
I just...
it's so obvious
hearsay,
Vanessa was
like
the one that
Vanessa.
was pushing sex the whole since the moment we've seen Vanessa.
Oh, yeah, because when she had her, like, what was it, either first or second date with Lexi, and Lexi goes, like, you and I would probably be the two people to this up, like, the experiment. And she's like, oh, I thought you were going to stop at
Right.
I was like...
Girl.
Say
you're desperate without saying you're desperate.
Her eyes reek desperation.